Alright, it's time to talk about Wishmaster 3 Beyond the Gates of Hell. It should be called In Hell, because if you're beyond the gates, then you're in hell, kind of like you as the audience are when you're watching the movie. And I saw this a couple days ago. I've been pushing this review off because I have not been enthusiastic about doing it. I haven't been dying to get this review out. But I have to. It's Wednesday, so let's just get this shit over with in this week's Horror Franchise Wednesday. Alright, so Wishmaster 3 is about, once again, the Djinn being released by some woman who has to research what the hell's going on, how she can defeat the evil. Blah, blah, blah. Rinse, lather, repeat. This is very low budget compared to the first two. The dip in quality is drastic. You can see it as soon as it starts, as soon as you see the Djinn, as soon as he starts talking, you know it's a different movie completely. This was pretty bad. Not dog shit, but close. There's some entertainment I got from it. There was moments where I was laughing, but there is a lot of bad. But I will go over the positives first. This is the first Wishmaster so far to actually have nudity. So at least it has something to offer you. And not only is there nudity, but there's lots of it. You got two naked chicks in one scene making out with this guy. Then later on, you got another naked, gorgeous girl having sex in public. Because they're young, they're in college. Why not? They're daredevils. They're risk takers. They don't give a shit. They're about to graduate. So they're going to have sex at college. Kind of reminded me of Pieces when that couple is having sex outside on the grass, broad daylight, on college campus. It's like, no one would do that. But there's nudity. I like the human version of Djinn in this movie. Not better than the first two, but this new actor who plays the human version when he's not all in makeup, I liked his performance. I think he's related to Sean Connery. But yeah, he has like this slight British accent, and he gives a decent performance. I dug him. There's some cool special effects here and there. One with like an arm growing back. Nothing very memorable. Like I said, it's been a couple days since I've seen this, and I hardly remember any special effects outside of just the makeup on the Djinn. This one arm that kind of grows back. There's some moments here and there where I'm like, oh, that was kind of cool. But still not as good as the first two, with Nicotero behind the special effects in the first one. Awesome. And I like that people in this one finally say I wish. In the first two, it was very loosely worded, like, I would want that. And then he would make it a wish, like, all right, your wish is granted. It's like, no, they just said yes. Or, like, in this one, they actually say, I wish. And he'll be like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, I wish. And then he kills them. Still kills them. He's still breaking the rules. Jesus. And there's some cool car stunts there. I'll throw that one in there. There's some cool car stunts at the beginning and the very end. There's a cool car chase. And that's it. Going into the negatives. Cheap jump scares. I think there's at least one in here. And it's just like every other jump scare. Some guy can just silently walk up to you in a very open place, wooden floors, and dress shoes. You would hear every footstep as he's walking towards you. How the fuck does anybody sneak up on anybody in these movies? It's stupid. The whole hand on the shoulder and then like, oh, I didn't mean to scare you. If you didn't mean to scare her, as soon as you entered the room and saw her, you would have said something like, oh, hey, Jennifer, instead of sneaking up on them and then, boom, hitting them on the shoulder with your hand. It's stupid. I can't stand seeing that shit in horror movies. It's every movie almost. And I point it out every single time. And then we got continuity issues. We got a different actor, but I guess you could argue this is a whole separate Djinn. Are there multiple Djinns? Like there's multiple demons and whatnot, angels. And speaking of angels, there's fucking an angel in this movie. And that's when the movie really takes a very dark, stupid path to just stupidville. It's just idiotic. The movie is already hard to watch, and then it just goes full on stupid with the whole angel thing. I get it's trying to do something new, but it's so corny while taking itself too damn serious. The first two were more even-toned-ish. Not part 2. Part 1 I felt like was more even. This one, with its premise and what they're doing, some of the kills, why is it taking itself so serious? Like, it felt so damn sincere. Like, everything, like, the actors, everybody was taking it very serious, and it's just laughable. I don't know. It was a mistake. They should have just tried to make this funny, corny, go that comedic route, because there's some comedic moments here and there regarding, like, the kills, but it's not funny. There's no funny characters. It's just so serious, and that's a mistake. You're 3 entries into a franchise. Usually that's when they start really diving into the comedy, like a Freddy's Dead or Friday the 13th Part 6, you name it. This one's like, no, we're going to get more serious now the further we go. It's just dumb. More continuity issues with like the whole I don't need souls anymore, I just need this one chick, and he still can't find her. Like, it was kind of dumb in the first one, but it's extra dumb here. Like, you got just this college campus that she's constantly on, and you can't find her. You can't just... It's just ridiculous how long it takes for the Djinn to find this main girl. Like, he has these powers to know everybody's backstory. As soon as he meets, like, the professor, he knows his crimes and his past, but he can't track down the woman who brought him back to life, who they call the Waker. That's the new terminology. And the main girl, whose name is Die, D-I-E, I'm guessing. They don't really spell it out, but I'm going to guess it's Die. Her name's Diana, but they nickname her Die, and she's slightly suicidal because of her past. Boyfriend chases her out to the roof looking for her, like, hey, Die! Die! That's the last thing you want to scream at somebody who might be suicidal. But her name's Die, and she's not likable at all. She's not likable because the way she acts towards her boyfriend, who has done nothing wrong. And this whole opening with her, like the little bit of backstory we get for this character, is her parents died in a car accident when she was a kid, and now that's why she's such a freaking bitch towards her boyfriend and won't put out. That's it. Like, it does nothing for the story. It's basically irrelevant and doesn't need to be in here. It does nothing. It's not something that helps her defeat the Djinn, not that I saw. It's just wasted time. And then once again, 3 movies in a row, she's telepathic. Like, every time the Djinn is doing something, she starts having these mental breakdowns, like, oh my gosh. And it's what this actress got to do 2 years later in Final Destination 2. We got AJ Cook back in this movie. No, not back. Why did I say that? Well, she was in Final Destination 2, now she's in this movie, and in both of those movies, this one and that one, she has all these visions, and she's like, oh God, I'm seeing things. It's just corny, it's stupid, quit it. It doesn't help her character, it doesn't help her help any of her friends, she never saves anybody, it's just stupid. It never does anything. Just once, I would like for her to be like, oh gosh, I can see what he's doing, and then she actually like gets there in time and saves somebody, but she never really does. I could be wrong, it's been a couple days since I've seen this. Maybe she did save somebody, but I don't think so. I think everybody dies, so she didn't save shit. So just get rid of the telepathic bullshit. It does nothing. And then the Djinn has a new voice. Again, continuity. New actor. His voice, it's not the same at all. They went this whole deep, dark voice, and he talks like this. And it's stupid. It's like... It belongs in a cartoon version of this movie. If it was like for children, I could see that voice working. This is going for a serious tone. For some reason, have a better voice. Have the last voice that worked for me, at least. The Andrew Defoe voice.
Fear, my good man, is an instinct. Trust yours. I am real.
And the soundtrack to this film is horrendous. It is all these fast, upbeat, weird techno, early 2000s bullshit soundtrack songs that do not fit the scenes and do not fit this stupid movie's tone. It just was ridiculous. Oh my gosh. I'll try to find some and play them right here. The premise of this movie is basically a long cat and mouse game. It's like Die Hard 3, except not fun. It's just Where's Di? Where's Di? I don't know. Where's Di? I'll kill a person here and then ask this person where Di is. It's the whole movie. Like, where is she? And you're just sick of it. And then, oh, my friends don't believe me. It's just typical generic shit and not done in a fun way or interesting way to keep you engaged. You're just waiting for it to end. And there was moments where I thought it was going to end, but then more shit was happening. And it just drove me nuts. So I think you see where I'm going with this. Final thoughts. This was not that entertaining. There's a couple of cool special effects here and there. The actor who does the human Djinn was good. There's a cool car scene towards the end. Kind of reminded me of Terminator 2. You know, chasing the car, jumping on it, attacking it, stuff like that. But other than that, bad characters, not interesting, not funny, too serious of tone. At least you got some tits. That's about it. So when it comes to Wishmaster 3, this movie is wasted time. So the hottest chick in this movie, I didn't write it down. I would say maybe the chick from Saw 2. That's right, you got the chick from Saw 2. And she doesn't even show her tits. But she still got to be my hottest chick. But yeah, I like her. Not the smartest person in Saw 2 when she sticks her hands up in the box. What a moron. And the best scene in this movie is probably the car chase. I would just pick that scene. I didn't write it down, so I'll just pick one off the top of my head. That was a cool scene. Other than that, this movie is pretty bad. Alright, so let's get into it. Spoilers. So we get this opening with the car crash. We establish that this woman, Diana's parents, died in a car accident when she was a kid. Yada, yada, yada. And that does nothing besides make her a hard girlfriend. But they die because of a truck that was just on the road, like in their lane, and they didn't realize it until it's too late. But there's like no hazards on the truck. There's no road flares. There's not even a cop on site yet. How long has this truck been crashed? Did it just crash? They would have heard it. How long has it been there? Why is there no road flares? Why isn't there just somebody in front of it? Like, hey, anything. It's just dumb. Do you just fucking leave? Is there a dead guy in the truck? Why am I asking these questions? I just want to know. I don't like the film, so I'm going to nitpick it even more. The nickname Di, what a stupid nickname. That's a horrible nickname for anybody, especially a suicidal person. And this movie has the cliche bell rings at the right moment. Like in a college scene. Whenever you're watching a movie and they're in college or in school, someone's giving a presentation, as soon as they say the last word, bell rings. How convenient. It's never like cutting them off mid-sentence. You know, and then Juliet said to Romeo, bell goes off. It's always like they're done, bell goes off, perfect timing. You know, stupid to point out, but this movie's stupid, so I'm going to keep saying stupid shit. But I noticed it, and I just wanted to talk about it. Anybody else notice that shit in movies? It's always so convenient, the bell ring. And then we got the gym. It's in some weird star-shaped box. So this is definitely not continuity, once again, from part 2. It was in a statue, from what I remember. Now it's in this star-shaped box. And then she just has to hit this little button. Boop. Pops out. Breathes on it. And now Genie's awake. And when the Genie comes into the movie, he's like levitating, like he's on rollerblades or something. It's pretty funny looking. And then the professor. We got the cliche, inappropriate professor who's basically trying to bang every student he has. And I like how every student on campus basically knows it. There's a few characters who make mention of it, like, yeah, he's banging everybody, isn't he? Even like staff people, I believe, know about it, and they don't care. So, piss poor ethics at this school. And then the professor makes his wish. He bumps into the Djinn because after she breathed on it, I guess there was this 5-minute window where the Djinn couldn't come into the movie right away because that would be too convenient. You see, if the Djinn appeared right away as soon as she like awoken it, then he would have found her and he wouldn't have to do this stupid cat and mouse chase throughout the entire movie. Now would he? So he had to wait 5 minutes for the main girl to leave, and then Professor walks in, and now he's rollerblading in to give him his wish. And his wish is, I want 2 of the most beautiful women in the world to be in love with me. When you make that wish, the most beautiful women in the world, I expect some top-notch looking babes. You know, all the chicks in the Maniac remake were hotter than these people that they chose. But that's what I want to talk about. I just want to talk about women's looks. Let's go. Let's just talk about that. That'd be more interesting than this movie. I heard 4 is more terrible than this, so looking forward to that. And then, so yeah, he's breaking his wishes are not fully granted ever. Like all of them are completely deceitful bullshit. Those are not the most beautiful women. And he just said, I want them to love me. And then they start eating him, like slashing, like they bite his tongue out. They start scraping his chest. I guess that's what true love is killing your lover. I like when he kills the professor, there's just this conveniently perfect size crate that's just open for the body to be stashed away in. So yeah, he takes his face, now he's the professor. And makes sense because you want to be somebody that everybody knows. You can't just be some drifter, or you want to take the face off of a bum or some wanted criminal. So he chose the professor. Good choice. I'll give it that at least. And we get some sex in the dorm room, and this guy is on the couch watching TV, and he's watching a music video, so it's really loud, conveniently loud enough so he can't hear the couple making love behind him. So more conveniences here and there. And then they set up this horn, these 2 horns on the wall, so that later on this guy can be like, I wish you would blow me, like sarcastically, like basically saying fuck you to the Djinn. He's like, blow me. He's like, granted. Blows him, falls up against the antlers, like Linnea Quigley, Silent Night, Daily Night Part 1. And that's an okay kill, but nothing to write home about. This guy who's making love with the girl, he's pretty good with bras. Took it off in like 2 seconds. Some guys have troubles with bras. And then we got Research the Evil. Once again, it's 3 movies in a row. Except this time it's more annoying because we already know what this monster is and how to defeat it. But we gotta waste all this time watching the protagonist look up the evil and try to learn how to defeat it. It's the most generic cliche thing in horror movies, especially when you're dealing with like monster movies and like paranormal shit. There's always that scene where they have to go to the library, and that's what we got in here. They go to the library. What is it? We need to learn how to defeat it. And none of her friends believe her. But I like when the one friend does believe her because the Djinn reveals himself to him. He just tells the other friend who still doesn't believe, like, no, believe her. I just saw it myself. And she's like, okay, I believe you now. Because you believe, now I believe. Like, do you have any idea how hard it would be to convince anybody that there's an evil genie on the college campus disguised as your professor? This chick just believes it moment one as soon as the other guy's like, no, she's telling the truth. Trust me. Okay. We find out that the Djinn was responsible for the Trojan War, supposedly. The world's fastest paramedics ever in a movie. This one chick, she wishes to have all the files burn up. Like, I want all these filing cabinets to be lit on fire so I can go home and leave. And then one of those filing cabinets gets caught on fire, and she gets caught on fire and dies, so she never leaves. That's a wish not granted. Once again, the Djinn is a lying bitch, breaking his rules. I can't kill you unless you wish it. Bullshit. But yeah, the paramedics, there. Like, the way they edit the movie, it's like, wow, they're already there? Shit. Di reads opening text of Wishmaster 1. I thought that was cool. When she's reading the book of how, when she's researching the evil, she reads the opening text from the first movie that Angus Scrimm read. A little wink to the first movie, but some might call it a wink. I think I'll call it stealing. Then we get this line after the teacher is burnt alive and dead. This insensitive little college bitch says, yeah, I heard she was burnt deep fried, extra crispy, like a Big Mac. Something like that.
It's true. Deep fried and extra crispy.
She quotes the guy from the beginning of The Burning. If you've watched The Burning with Cropsey, there's a nurse, this guy, forget his name, but he says that same thing. He's like, yeah, he's burnt, extra crispy, deep fried, like a Big Mac. And she says that because she's a bitch. Has no sympathy towards anybody. So I guess that's a Burning reference. Maybe I wonder if that was on purpose. I doubt it. Or maybe they're just stealing again. So then this one girl, she wishes to be skinny, even though she's already skinny. So she's got that disorder. And then, ironically, when she's throwing up all her body fat, she looks fatter. Like in the moment, the practical effects on her neck, it's like swelling up and she looks fatter. So I thought it was funny. It's like, oh, you're not getting skinnier, you're getting fatter. But then she actually starts like getting like actually skinny. Like the effect looks like a vacuum, like all the fat's like melting away from her arm, kind of like that one girl in Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Dreammaster, want to suck face. I'm just gonna keep referencing movies. Burning. How many have I done now? Burning, Nightmare on Elm Street. There's another one I read. Final Destination 2. Whatever. All right. Silent Night, Deadly Night. I'm just referencing everything. I wish for the angel of Michael to come help me defeat you. And then he comes in, he's like, I can't defeat him. The rules, this is the new lore. Whoever wakes him can only be the one is the only one that can defeat him. So that's a convenient rule that's thrown into the movie. And this is when the movie is extra stupid. It's like this beam shooting down at the main girl Die so she can get the power of Michael, and then the boyfriend like pushes her out of the way, like, no, I'll take the power. It's like, but she wished for the power, so wouldn't that beam just like follow her body no matter where you push her? The trajectory would just like still get her, even if you pushed her. It's just dumb. But yeah, now he's Michael, and for some reason his voice has to change now, so now he's talking deep, because he's the angel of Michael, and it's just so stupid. And then this one girl wishes for her heart to break. And her heart breaks literally. So at least that wish was granted. That's the only one. Oh yeah, they call Katie and she doesn't answer the phone. And then when we see her after that, she has her phone on her and now it's ringing on the ground after when Di calls her a second time. So why didn't she answer it the first time? This pissed me off. She's underneath the desk hiding from the Djinn. She thinks the Djinn's out of the room, and now she's on her phone with her friends. Like, I wish there was a better place to hide. It's like, what do you mean? Okay, well, one, your hiding spot's working, because as of now, at least, because he hasn't found you. But she says that he finds her, so I guess it wasn't a good place. But he's like, wish granted. And then shoves her head into a mouse cage. I thought she was going to like shrink into like the size of a mouse to hide. But no, he just stuffs her head in the mouse cage, and now that mice are picking out her eyeballs. That's not how that wish should have been executed. That makes no sense. That's not her hiding. That's her in plain sight with her head stuck in a goddamn cage. Anyone would walk in and see her. That's not a hiding spot. It's just that's the dumbest wish so far in all three movies. Next to that would be, I wish I was never born. Stupid. I wish you'd go fuck yourself. That's up there because of the execution. That makes no fucking sense. You can't screw yourself, literally. That makes absolutely no sense. And then we get this like Thor, Captain America thing where it's like, you're not worthy of the hammer or the sword. You can't touch it. And then, just conveniently enough, at the end, she's now worthy of it. She can hold on to it, because before, when she touched it, her whole hand got lit on fire. And now, she grabs it. She's worthy now, for some reason, and then stabs the Djinn. They fall off the roof. Jinn's dead, but somehow falling 5-6 stories, this girl was able to use the Djinn's body to break her fall. Bullshit. She would be destroyed. Like, there's no fucking way. Not to mention, she's falling on a body that has a sword right through the center. So she would have to fall on this much of the body. It's just, that makes, again, no sense. There's so many logical issues that I have to point out. But yeah, the chick's alive. She walks up to the roof, says, I love you to her boyfriend, because she was never able to say that for some reason until now. I get, like, her whole childhood history has made it hard for her to ever love. As if that makes sense. Alright, so yeah, I'm done bitching. Fuck this movie. So, that's the end of my thoughts. I don't think I have a favorite kill or a least favorite kill. So, I'm just going to end it right here. What are your thoughts on Wishmaster 3? Is Wishmaster 4 worse or better? Warn me right now. Put your thoughts of it in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you like what you've seen here, you can hit this like button, share with all your friends, become a Patreon to request movie reviews, and you can become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen.